And now we are joined by Bartholomew Okoudo, the Edo State Coordinator Transition Monitoring Group, and Jennifer Dafford, Yaga Communication Officer. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us in our news at this time.
Good evening and thanks for having me.
Okay, all right. So, as someone who took part in monitoring the just concluded Edo election, what is your review on the overall conduct of the election?
Well, overall, speaking generally, the election was a bit peaceful because the level of violence was relatively low. So the election can be adjoined to be peaceful. But then it was characterized by low turnout of voters. By the result we have seen so far, less than 700,000 persons voted, whereas we have 2.6 million as registered voters. So if you compare the figure, it will not be out of place to say the election was characterized by low voters turnout. And there was monetary inducements because people were caught selling and buying votes. So it was characterized by low turnout, monetary inducements, though relatively peaceful.
So, how would you rate the effectiveness of INEC on the prosecution of electoral offenders in the election and also in Nigeria?
INEC in this regard has not lived to expectation. In fact, from a dual election, INEC has taken us backward. INEC have taken us backward because there were evidence of vote buying, yet nobody was arrested. You cannot prosecute without arrest. Nobody was arrested. In terms of coalition of results, INEC did not also live up to expectation. For instance, 2 local governments were moved from their original coalition center to INEC headquarters without reason. That is Okoudo and Okoudo, without reason, without justifiable reason. So to a large extent, there were late arrival of materials in so many polling units. There was late arrival of materials and INEC officials. So if you take a good review at what actually happened, INEC had promised that they were going to conduct free, fair, and credible election. But what happened Saturday cannot be said to be free, fair, and credible.
Okay, all right. So one of the biggest challenges in Nigeria is recurring incidences of electoral irregularities. What would you say are we not getting right as a country?
Now, the only way to get electoral irregularities right is when you punish offenders. When people commit electoral offenses with impunity, with as if we are in a banana republic, that's when you can get it right. In this Edo election, people committed electoral violence, electoral fraud. There was vote buying, there was snatching of ballot boxes, there was stuffing of ballot boxes, there were a lot of other irregularities, and yet nobody was arrested, no prosecution, nothing whatsoever. So you see that people do it with very high level of impunity, believing that nothing will happen, and truly nothing will happen. Since 1999, we have seen various forms of electoral irregularities, and nothing has been done. No arrest, no prosecution, no jail terms, nothing. So they do it, nothing happen. In the next election, they build on what they have done before, because they know that actually nothing will happen, and nothing will happen. So until we begin to punish offenders in accordance with the offense committed as regards electoral violence, nothing will happen. We continue to witness electoral violence even worse and worse in subsequent elections. But those who did it before, nothing happened to them. Somebody commit electoral violence, electoral fraud, his party is giving victory. So how can you contain it? No way. So until we begin to punish electoral offenders, there will be no way forward.
Okay, all right. We thank you very much for that.